Hello again, everybody. Woody here, back on Peace River, and we are still working on lime. I did a bunch of lime off camera here, and I've got just a little bit left in field 17 and then field 16 left to do on lime, and actually still have my hired rig out in the fields cultivating, making a little side cache. So I'm going to go ahead and get those fired back up. He's got quite a ways to go in this field here, so I'll let him keep going. So far, hasn't gotten dark enough that I've had to stop working. I think it actually gets dark enough that without course play or anything, it's really hard to keep going on your own when it gets middle of the night dark, so let him keep going for now. And on to the lime rig. Get this guy refilled up, get him started again. I have been using for my lime tending these Meridian Seed Express tender trailers. They've been, I guess, updated with the bulk mod, so they'll haul anything, which actually makes them kind of nice for lime. I can haul quite a bit at a time. Unfortunately, I have to use two of them to even halfway keep up. Lime goes so fast. But I have auto drive courses set up to down to the southwest corner of the map where the lime buy point is, and that's been working pretty good. I don't know if it's the I think it's the trailer triggers, since there's 3 bins on these. And I think the triggers move back and forth across the top of the trailer. It's very hard, so far that I've seen anyway, to get the auto drive course to drive through there and actually load every single compartment of the trailer. I saw it happen one time. Other than that, I've had to mess with every single one of them. I kind of have to, auto drive gets them there just fine, but I kind of have to load them manually to make sure that they get filled all the way full. But still takes a lot of the tedious part out of the mix. And actually, before I take off with that, I'll go ahead and activate the auto drive in this one again so that he pulls all the way forward. Get back to it here. Again, this is not necessarily a square map. It's a 24 times map, I believe would be the actual size of it. The top row of what would be 4x maps that would make it a square map are nothing on this map, so is all this dead space that's up in here that I'm talking about. If those were filled in, you know, you'd, I suppose, have a 36x map. But anyway, even without that dead space, it's still a huge map, taking forever. It's taken me, well, what day are we on here? I think this is the end of day 2. Yep. And quite literally all I've done is I did some soil sampling before I even started making videos, and then started the for hire cultivator guy, and all I've done since then is lime, and we're at the end of day 2, so it's taken quite a while. And actually my biggest field is the one I have left, 16, but should be able to get those wrapped up, I hope, soon here. Don't want to waste too many days just putting on lime, but We'll see how dark it gets here, how long I can keep going in the dark like this. I do really like the lights on these Terragators at night. And they actually light up pretty good too around, so. Check on my other truck, just make sure he's not. Why doesn't he have his lights on? He's not a very safe driver. That's something I have to talk to that guy. I did. Bought myself a new truck here on the map. Not necessarily a new truck, but a truck. I don't remember where I found this mod for this old Ford truck, but I thought awful cool looking truck. The wheels and tires are a little bigger than I necessarily care for, but couldn't pass up these old body styles on these trucks. Are so cool. I needed something to attempt to fix the auto drive course down by the Lime fill station, so I just bought that guy to help get those points straightened out a little bit. see, course play, if you weren't overlapping all the time, we could be finishing this field right now instead of having another swath left. So this load will finish up this field. So actually what I will do before I get that back, I'm going to change this to field 16. And reset that so that he, well, they know. Set field 16. There we go. Reset that. And as long as I'm here, I might as well help him get loaded. Usually I don't have a problem getting in here under the first trigger. Where I see the problem is sometimes they don't recognize the second trigger, and I haven't seen one yet recognize the third trigger. Or they'll skip, basically they'll skip the second one and recognize the last one, and that's it. If they even make it past the first one. So we'll let him go ahead and load there. Get this Terragator loaded the rest of the way up. Of this load to field 16. Just have him take that to field 16 there. If you're unfamiliar with auto drive, whatever they have highlighted in green is your next step. So this double arrow button right here will click you, advance you to the next stage of your course, I guess it would be. I don't necessarily remember how I made all these courses for getting around. I don't know that he actually has how much of the course he'll have to drive back around to get to field 16. He might. I don't remember if I connected those in or not at 16 and 17. So he'll get there eventually. Okay, so this is odd. He has actually pulled up and filled and is filling the second trigger right now. The only difference is I have two different trucks on the front of these, two different semi-trucks. One might just be pulling that trailer a little bit differently, that it's actually hitting those triggers. Like I said, I've not seen one fill or hit all three. Oh yeah, too far, young fella. He doesn't want to I know the triggers are all messed up, so I have to think it's because of the trailer. I mean, it works, but if you'll notice, this one is, it's kind of hard to see in the dark, but this one is way off the back of the trailer. So I can see why it's not recognizing that one, but it's not too big of a deal here to, you know, come help them get lined up on these bins. It's not like I'm losing a bunch of time anyway. 2 trucks running, the other one's moving back around to field 16. Interrogator has about a pass left to do, so. Something in here for use covers. I don't necessarily see anything for headlights. Get rolling and see if we can get that tear finished up. Over there. I've been trying to think ahead a little bit on equipment wise. Obviously I don't own everything I'm going to need to complete the season here. I'm trying to think forward, you know, money wise and how much equipment I'm actually going to need to get through. What I want to do for a planter, what I want to do for a combine, things like that. $5 million seems like quite a bit, and it is, unless you got to buy doubles on any equipment, and such big fields tend to eat up a lot more money worth of inputs, fertilizers, lime, spray, seeds. It all adds up, and when you're on such big fields, it adds up a lot quicker. So I'm not sure how heavily equipment invested I want to get right out of the gate. Hate to have to take on a loan. That's no good. And I will say, keeping that keeping that hired rig going on the contract missions it's definitely paid for itself. It's brought in quite a bit of money. So I shouldn't need actually either one of these courses anymore. Saved at least. 83%. I actually just shoot across the gap here. Come down here. Let's see. Unfamiliar with the map. It is dark as all get out. I feel that's the water. Alright, so we don't want to go there. I don't know what excuse I would ever have for having a interrogator so close to the water, but so this field has to be, oh boy, we are really off-roading it now. And I'm guessing I'm past, I'm too far south. Yep, there it is. Okay, this appears to be the southwest corner I wanted to start in. So field 16, we will do 2 passes counterclockwise. Should be good. So yeah, I've obviously the next thing I'm going to need is a planter. Well, that's not even true. I am playing with periodic plowing turned on. All that stuff's turned on, so I will need to plow next. I think I'm actually going to. I am going to probably just start with the big John Deere disc that works as a plow. I know that's kind of a cheat, if you will, but excuse me, Field Z's, you know, as big as these, you really gotta, if you're gonna do tillage at all, you can't screw around with little tillage. It'll take too long. So it's either something like this and kind of cheat the reality of it, if you will, or I would also, in reality, I would probably go with a high-speed disc. I really like this mod, and you know, 13 mile an hour, you're only 12.2 wide, but you're 13 mile an hour, so you cover a lot of ground pretty fast. The problem of it is you're $143,000 on the disc, and it takes a 500-600 horsepower tractor. It takes $500,000 tractor to pull it, so you're almost $1 million into that, and I don't know if I really want to do all that with only having $5 million to spend. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I mean, it also you know I gotta have a tractor for a planter. If I mean, as big as these fields are, it would make sense to go with the DB120. You know, again, there you're looking at a $500,000 planter, $500,000 tractor. You're close to $1 million right there. Another $150,000 on the high-speed disc. possible. It is definitely possible. But we'll see here. I don't, you know, it probably takes more. I was kind of kicking around the idea too of going with 2 smaller planters. But that doesn't necessarily gain you anything. You probably actually end up spending more money that way. Just to get the same size of, you know, same number of rows you're covering. We'll see. I'll probably make that decision here shortly, because obviously after this field's done with lime, like I said, the next step will be moving into the plowing stage. So I'll right away have to make a decision: either pull the custom rig out of the fields from cultivating and get him designated to just doing my own, which I don't necessarily like that idea, because that machine is pretty much just bringing in money every day. It's definitely paid for itself already in the missions that I've done so far. So I'd really like to keep that going that way. That's a nice cushion. So I'll need to decide on I could technically buy another one of those. I think that's an 8960 I have on that. Is that right? $89.70. Yeah, that's an $89.70 I have on there. $84,000 tractor. It's hard to pass that up, you know. The alternative is a few $100,000 pretty easily. So we will see. Tell that other truck. Okay, I did bring him to 16. I can't. Okay, he is there. Just can't see him because he opts for the no headlight look. Oof, she's dark out here. Seems like I need to get a light on out there too. Would be nice. This guy folded up and on his way back for another load. Field 16, let her rip. Whoa. There you go. Alright, there we go. And with that, looks like we are at the end of our time here. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll keep at it here, and hopefully we'll be done with lime next time. Thanks for watching, guys.